I guess this is mostly about FPS bypass because that was massive. That was a massive hack, or I guess it's not even a hack anymore. FPS bypass was such a huge thing because when I was playing the game, it was like, oh yeah, you needed to get a 144 hertz monitor, and then like you were goated. But then like FPS bypass came out, and it was crazy. Everyone just started using it, and then everyone started hating each other for using it because it was illegal, bruh. I don't know why. Oh, it was the demon list that made it illegal, which was crazy because you could just do that. You can just unlock your FPS, I guess, and basically every other game. And in Geometry Dash, if you turn off VSync, it just get locks to 60 FPS. Like, come on, dude. Like, the last time I even seen that happen was in 2008. Come on, bruh. Freaking Spore. But for the majority of my time playing this game, I was on 60 hertz because I had a 60 hertz monitor. So I just had no way of, like, getting good. I mean, of course, you can become good at 60 hertz. Like, Bloodbath on 60 hertz was a possible thing. But it required so much effort, and I was just not willing to put it in at the time, I guess. I don't know, it was just too hard for me. So I kind of just gave up at the time. My hardest on 60 hertz, I think, is Darkness Keeper, which I actually beat in 2020, which is a strange time, by the way, because I came back to Geometry Dash for like a day, or I guess just a week. 'Cause I think it took me a week to beat that level. But I came back to the game after like 2 years of not like being in the community, or I guess a year. Except I wouldn't count 2019 because I don't even remember Zodiac being verified or Coretta being verified. I don't remember any of that. The last like major demon, I guess, that I remember in 2019 was the Yandere. Like, what? And apparently that was after Zodiac too, I think, before Zodiac was supposedly verified. But I don't even remember Zodiac like existing. I don't know how I missed that or any of that, whatever. But 2019 was really like when I stopped interacting with the community and the game like as a whole, after my first era of playing in 2018, which is when I got good at the game. I beat all my easy demons. I beat medium demons. I beat my few very hard demons that are now medium demons, unfortunately, but you know, they were hard, I guess. So after returning to the game in 2020 for like a week, it was so weird opening the demon list and seeing Tartarus there. I'm like, what? They verified Tartarus? What? I thought that was impossible, you know? And then I see another level, the freaking golden. What is the golden? And how is it harder than Tartarus? But yeah, that was like the key thing I remember from returning to the game. I beat Darkness Keeper as the hardest, and that was the last level I beat on 60 hertz. Until I came back in late 2021, November, I believe. I came back to the game. I don't know why, really. I think I just wanted to beat a level I've wanted to beat for a long time, since 2018, really. Future Funk. I wanted to beat Future Funk because it was a cool level. It was High Life, Clutter Funk. Like, it was a bunch of cool levels. It was made by the small creator, you know, like Jonathan GD, you know. No one really knew him that much. I'm sure everyone knew him, but I didn't. I couldn't do it, and it was really frustrating because I couldn't make any progress on it. The most amount of progress I could make was at 40%, that one ship part. That ship part is kind of hard. It is really hard, and I couldn't do it on 60 hertz because it was impossible. I don't know why, and it was really frustrating. I just kept dying to that ship. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm not beating this. So 2021, I came back. I said, who was around? Who's still around making videos on this game? I see Aeon Air. What? This dude's still playing? I thought he quit. I see this dude pull up Mega Hack on his video. I'm like, what the flip? He has a mod menu? Why does he have a mod menu? And I'm like, what? I mean, if he's still thriving with this mod menu, then what's stopping me from using it, right? Because I'm just a nobody. So I do my little research. I'm like, what the flip is this mod menu? It's called Mega Hack. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And I kind of just bought it for fun because I bought it for fun because I'm like, okay, dude, it has speed hack on it. Like, this is a super convenient way. I don't have to use cheat engine. I didn't even think about the FPS bypass. I thought about no clip and speed hack, dude. I was like, yo, I don't have to search a bloodlust no clip and then play like a layout version that has all like the breakable blocks and stuff. So I got that, and I was having fun. It was actually really fun, just using Mega Hack, doing like all the no clips and speed hack stuff. I didn't illegitimately beat any levels. There's not really a point in doing that because there's no accomplishment. There's nothing. You gain nothing from it. You literally gain nothing from it. And if you care about the stats from levels and like, oh yeah, I totally beat Bloodlust. Look at these stars I got from it. Like, really? You can beat Speed Racer and get the same amount of stars from Bloodlust. Like, dude, come on. But yeah, I used it for fun, and it only struck me like after I was like about to leave the game again, because like, oh yeah, I had my fun with Mega Hack, that I noticed the FPS bypass, and I thought to myself like, dude, wasn't this like the one that everyone hated back then? Like, people don't really like FPS bypass now, right? I don't know if people still liked FPS bypass in 2021, but I guess I didn't care, so I just put it up to 240 hertz. And because I didn't know 360 was like a thing at the time. I think 360 was a thing at the time. So I just put it onto 240, and I started working on Future Funk. And it was crazy how much of a difference it made. Like, the game was so responsive. The ship control was crazy smooth. It was like, I felt like I became a monster. And I did, because I beat Future Funk, and I went on a rampage for 6 months. I just slayed every demon I touched. My first insane demon, which is Windy Landscape, that was gonna be like, dude, I was so excited for that, but like I was nervous at the same time. Boom, fluke from 50. What? Was that my first insane demon? Let me check right now. Okay, I was wrong. Rupture was my first insane demon. If you haven't, well, you're not gonna see that video, but I beat that with the most ridiculous audio ever. But
I hope you've been showing your pussy tonight, baby, because I will be wanking my cock.
Rupture was actually my first insane demon, which was actually pretty hard, but the crazy part about it was I beat it in a few days. My first insane demon, my hardest, was beaten in a few days. Before Rupture was my first insane demon. 3 days prior, I beat Force Temple as my hardest demon. What? Also, Force Temple was a demon I've always wanted to beat since like 2018. Like, I wanted that to be my big hard demon, and I also beat that in a few days. Right after 9 circles, which I also beat after a few days. I was on demon time. So I beat Rupture, and then I beat Windy Landscape after a few days of Rupture, which is crazy. I beat Rupture on December 31st, 2021, and then I beat Windy Landscape on January 3rd. What? I don't get it. Like, what was I on back then? And then I just kept going up and up and up, and it was crazy how fast I progressed through the game. Like, I don't get it. So my next demon after Windy Landscape was Boutidi 2, which actually, like, even though I said I just started beating everything, Boutidi 2 was such a jump in difficulty, especially from Windy Landscape. I don't know, like, dude, what? Why would I do that? But that was the first level that took me like a month to beat. Boutidi 2 was an actual pain in the butt. But after that, I felt like I could do anything. Like, I started beating the Crazy series. That led up to Crazy 3, which was also my hardest insane demon by far. That was hard as hell. And before Crazy 3, I beat Poltergeist, which is also like massively hard. Dude, I hate that level. So after Crazy 3, this is like month 5 of just me playing the game. I beat Crazy 3 in April, right? And then, boom, 2 weeks go by, Cataclysm 100%. What? I beat Kata in 2 weeks. What? Like, how does that make any sense? I spent more time beating Boutidi 2 Then Cataclysm. Like, what was I on? I think that was literally my peak. That was my peak. I think that still is my peak. I felt like I could do anything at the time. After Bootiti 2, I got a run to, I got 35%, I think, on Bootiti 3, which was a list demon at the time, and I was like, holy shoot, you know? Even though, like, the first part of Bootiti 3 is, like, free, it has some really hard timings at the first 35%, I guess, but I thought that was my peak. And I still can't even get 35 on Bootiti 3, although I probably could in, like, one sitting, but I don't know. It's just, Bootiti 3 is really daunting. I've been practicing it recently, but that second half is nasty. That's all I'm saying. So, and this all stemmed from me just turning on FPS bypass, and it was so huge. It was so huge, and what helped a lot with beating all these levels with bypass was all the other features of Mega Hack, like Speed Hack. I get to understand, like, the impossible duels in Bootiti 2, Future Funk. I can get to just learn click patterns easier with Speed Hack. And start position switcher was absolutely massive. I didn't have to make a copy of the level I'm working on and make different copies for with the start position at a different percent. That was a little, I mean, it's not that bad. I can live without start position switcher, but I don't know. It's just really convenient. Mega Hack is really convenient, and that is, like, crazy. It's crazy how much of a skill boost I got from it. 6 months. I went from a hard demon, boom, killed everything in my path, beat Cataclysm, and then left. Because I think after the Cataclysm left such a bad impression on me in, like, extreme demons. I just didn't want to play ever again. I took, I believe, like, a pretty long break. I beat Hypersonic, then Accu, which were fine. Hypersonic was dumb. Accu was easy. It was fine. And then after that, I was done. I was done for the game until, like, 2023 when I beat Reverence. That left an even worse impression than Cataclysm. So after I beat Reverence, I literally just dropped the game for, like, 2 years until today, and, like, recently in this year you see me uploading Bloodbath, Black Blizzard, and I don't know, I just have this great motivation for the game. And, you know, it was all stemmed from Mega Hack just being awesome, you know, and FPS bypass. Like, imagine if I used FPS bypass in 2018. I don't think it would have helped me that much because my PC at the time couldn't even run Deadlocked. So it definitely wasn't helping me in 2018. But in 2019, I got my new PC that was able to run Astral Divinity, bro. Like, come on. So if I used FPS bypass in 2019, it would have been like, ooh, evil. But, like, in the long run, I would still be winning. I sometimes think about that. Like, where would I be if I continued playing in 2019 with FPS bypass? And also, where would I be if I just didn't quit the game in 2023 for, like, a year and a half? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I know I took a very long break after Reverence. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk about FPS bypass because that is crazy how much that carried me. I think now I'm finally, like, I wouldn't say I'm plateaued. I'm definitely not plateaued. There's a lot of skill I've yet to, like, not tap into, but I think my increase in skill, my rise in skill is definitely, like, not as fast and as great as in 2021 and 2022. Nothing will ever, I think, even compare. Unless I, like, try CBF and, like, I don't know. I don't think CBF will have the same effect as FPS bypass. I haven't tried CBF, honestly. On the rare occasion I do, because I do occasionally just turn it on, I don't feel really much of a difference. I feel like that only affects, like, really top level play, which is not me. So anyways, that'll be it. I just want to talk about that. See ya. Oh my god, that the first half of that drop before the slow part, that is so inconsistent. It is so inconsistent. Oh my god. I knew as soon as I got past that swing copter, it was over. What is that? That's a fluke from 58? Oh my goodness. Alright, man. Whatever. Dang, that's a lot of attempts for a hard demon. Holy shoot. Alright, awesome.